StrikeReady is a platform that consolidates alerts together, it aggregates alerts together, it normalizes alerts. Everybody wants a way to consolidate your data to give you a single pane of glass. And a platform like ours aggregates data together, it correlates different alerts together, it enriches data against threat intel that you might have access to or we might have access to. It also investigates, right? When an alert comes in, we understand that 90% of the investigations are the same. So whether that investigation is pulling in log data or running additional KQL queries, customers also want us to reason on the data that comes back. So when you're doing an identity investigation and you're correlating multiple alerts together, we're running external KQL queries, pulling in log sources, and then reasoning on top of that log data to help you understand whether that initial alert was a true positive or a false positive or something that needs to be investigated further manually. So StrikeReady wants to solve the major challenges inside the SOC for the different personas that exist inside an operations center. So there's a persona that triages alerts, right? And that's what a lot of products are built for. You got alerts from your email products and your endpoint products. You want to consolidate them in one view and help triage those alerts, to the best of your ability. But there's other personas inside the SOC that use adjacent tools, and there's some overlap, but they also have their own tools. And these personas might be somebody who triages threat intelligence, right? So they typically have a TIP threat intel platform where some of these actions happen. They might also be a persona that triages vulnerabilities. So there's vulnerabilities that are announced on a daily basis, and the vulnerability discovery or management tools inside the organization, those might be inside the SOC. Some of them might be closer to the IT side of things. So the vulnerability management person is using different tools. The persona might be case management or metrics or reporting, right? There's somebody whose job it is to look at what the SOC does all day long, not just when there's an incident. Look at the metrics, look at the SLAs, look at the alerts being triaged, and tell the story about here's what the SOC did today, right? When things are bad, everybody knows what the SOC does. But when nothing's on fire, the larger organization needs to understand what the SOC did all day to help keep them safe. So there's somebody who does those metrics, that reporting inside the SOC. And typically they're using some sort of external case management tool, a great tool like Jira or ServiceNow or Freshdesk or Jitbit or something like that. We wanted to make a tool that gave them a nice experience from a security perspective, not just from a case management perspective. So whether you're triaging alerts or doing case management or helping to prioritize vulnerabilities or triaging threat intel, getting that single view of your assets and your identities, we wanted to be a platform that served all those users, not just one sliver. In addition to helping you triage your alerts and your vulnerabilities, StrikeReady is also a full TIP, a full threat intel platform. And that means that we help you understand, we understand exactly what you want to do when you get a threat intel report or when you subscribe to a threat intel feed, right? Some of the threat intel you ingest is finished intel, right? So these are blogs you might read. It kind of keeps you up to date with what's going on in the world, what attackers are doing. But there's also an intel lifecycle where you want to take indicators from trusted sources and you want to help operationalize them inside your environment. So when you're taking indicators, obviously the first thing you want to do is understand, did I see any alerts that matched a particular indicator? Okay, so we do that for you out of the box. The next thing you might want to do is take those indicators and push them out as detection rules or blocking rules. So whether those indicators are an IP or domain, maybe it's a rule like a YAR rule or SNORT rule or Sigma rule, you want to take those and push those out to your stack and do it in a way that's not going to have your block lists grow to the sky. Right, so push out a block rule to your firewall and to your endpoint, but then in 90 days or 180 days, come back and delete that block rule from your stack. You might also want to do automated hunting. So when you have indicators, you have log sources that may or may not be related to alerts. Maybe they're endpoint telemetry, maybe it's your browser history from your Zscaler, maybe it's your email products. You want to take those threat intel feeds, automate that hunt process across your endpoints, across your log sources, not your alert sources, to help you understand, not just did I have any alerts that match this, but did I have any log sources at all that match this IP or match this hash? And then the last thing that we help you understand is if this group hit you, if this indicator, if this file hit you, would your tools detect it? So we help you simulate threats on an ad hoc basis where we can take indicators and spin up virtual machines in your environment and copy those indicators into the virtual machine to scan them with your tools. So what this helps you answer is when someone gives you a threat report and someone says, hey SOC, do you detect this thing that I just read about in the New York Times? In under 1 minute, you can test those indicators across your security stack to help you answer right away, do my tools detect that? And what do the alerts look like? Oftentimes, vendors will say that they detect a particular threat, but whether they detect it at a criticality level or a severity level that your SOC would even notice, right? Maybe it's at a low severity level or an info severity level, or maybe they do block it very well. It helps you answer that question of not just would my tool detect it, but would my SOC even notice the alert when things trickled through?
Discover how StrikeReady can help you improve your cybersecurity. Sign up for a free demo